What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you a World of Tanks gameplay commentary. This round, my 103, I'm not gonna lie, it starts off a little boring, but it gets very exciting towards the end. So I'll basically, on the part that's pretty boring, I'll try to pay attention to what's going on elsewhere on the map, I guess is the best way to put it. Lights being cannon fodder, etc. So, the enemy team has a Greel. Something not really that's much of a concern, at least not for me. To be honest, I think he's probably going to do all of 150 damage to me, which, don't get me wrong, I could use every bit of health I could get, but 150 damage does not scare me. So this is an earlier game in my M103 before I got the upgraded turret, before I made it elite, and I still had the upgraded gun though. So that was the one thing I really cared about. I'm not quite sure why they didn't give me the upgraded turret, simply because, when I got it, the M103, my T-34 was fully upgraded, so I was kind of like, what's the deal? Anyway, I'm getting off track. So as you can see, I initially wanted to go south, but so much of my team went south, I decided to go north to support the IS-7, the T-54, and as you see, they sent a lot of their medium south, but just because they simply had the speed to get across the bridge. And you would probably see that north too. I mean, you see it with the T-54. Our artillery going way back in base, not even thinking about mounting itself on that hill where most people go in Golf 1-2. And us, me and this T-54, just kind of able to provide support to that other hill. But right now, my concern is trying to help this IS-7 who kind of foolishly rushed ahead, not really thinking of his actions, not really realizing how bad of an idea that is. So if we look at the enemy tanks here in a minute, as you see, we're very tank destroyer heavy, while they're very medium tank heavy. So we have, each team has we also have slightly more heavy tanks. So we are a bit more heavier, just in terms of steel and firepower, but they are certainly more mobile, and they're going to try and exploit that. Right here, that Patton just sitting way back there. That IS-7 getting himself killed. We lost our ISU-152. That's not good either. I'm pretty sure he had the BL-10s, and that makes him a valuable asset. An ISU-152 with a BL-10 is just as potent as an Object 704. Not in terms of survivability or rate of fire, but in terms of sheer power per shot. So, not really something I was too happy about, especially losing a tier 10 when all we've done is kill a tier 5. And still those mediums in the south causing a large amount of concern for me. I'm going to basically just keep peeking over here, and when they're spotted, just take that as an opportunity to get shots on them. But at the same time, I don't want to expose myself to their artillery, so I'm kind of being cautious about that. I don't have 6th sense on this tank, so I have no idea if I'm spotted or not. I'm going to get a shot off on that T-54, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. E-50 pushing the town, making me think their other tanks might be pushing. 1390 kind of doing his job and making sure nothing is rushing across. That Patton getting completely lit up in the south. Our team, while not off to that great of a start, the 1390 just getting taken out. Our team really does not have the advantage at this point, so it's really up to the enemy team to push. And not only that, our team is certainly more suited to a more slower, stationary style of play. I mean, they have all those mediums, and so they have the more momentum. They're basically the more mobile force. Not only that, they have more tanks, more armor currently. The losses are certainly not even. So the smart decision for us is to just sit back and let them come to us, not sacrifice our defensive posture. Getting a nice little shot on that AMX 5120. Every little bit counts. Now, you might have noticed a little hiccup in the video. I'm going to try to edit it out as much as possible. But again, I just don't know what went wrong. Basically, the video, the replay will get frozen, and then it will freeze up, and then it will resume, but Fraps will no longer work. And oftentimes the video file, the most recent video file, will be corrupted. So I'm not sure what it is. Not only that, but the hard drive that has all my video files takes a very long time to access after the fact. So it might be a hard drive issue, it might be a video card issue, it might just be a software issue. I have no idea. But anyway, as you see at this point, E50 trying to get a shot on him. Bush is concealing exactly what parts of him are exposed, so I have to kind of probe around a little. Patton getting tracked, but I'm not going to poke my head out there and potentially get lit up by artillery. South, heavy tank kind of causing a bit of concern, but, you know, 261 taking out our Type 59. Again, putting us further in the hole. It's still winnable, but it's looking less and less likely with each tank loss. So, but like I said earlier, that heavy tank, artillery has a certain chance to ruin his day should he decide to push. So not much of a concern there. Trying to take free shots at the T-54, you know, with this mediums in the south. That Patton pushing across there, getting lit up by the IS-7 in the medium, which I cannot recall what that is at the moment. I believe that is our T-54. Patton getting taken out by that E-75. Rushing the center, especially when the enemy team is set up in a defensive posture like we are, is very rarely a good idea. Right here, kind of exposing myself a little, but trusting that I'm not exposed. Taking shot T-54, not really taking him out. Not there was any chance to do that, but you know what I mean. Not really taking any damage from my shot. So, somewhat wasted, but at the same time, you've got to take the shots you've got. So at this point, we are just sitting in our base, waiting for the enemy team to come to us. E50 pushing forward a little, raising my hopes, thinking maybe he's going to do something stupid. He might let me get a free shot off on him. IS-7 currently very hurt. I can only assume artillery ruined his day just slightly. Medium tank in the south seems to be pushing up a little, but at this point, I'm so far north, there's really nothing I can do to help. But I am going to reposition to see if those medium tanks decide to show themselves, only to be interrupted by the E50 backing up and me looking and not being given the opportunity to take a shot. Another medium tank coming up north, taking a random shot at the E50. I knew my chances weren't great of hitting him. Another Patton coming forward. So that's the, he's going to get shot by me. Oh, not quite. You know, hey, it's been a while since I played this game. A lot of these are old replays, but, you know, I'm doing them because they are good games regardless. Like I said earlier in the replay, kind of slow to start off, but it does get very interesting towards the end. It gets very, very hairy. So, medium tank currently not exposing himself. That heavy tank in the south just waiting for artillery is just waiting for him to make a stupid move, and there he goes. Like I said, artillery certainly had the opportunity to ruin his day. IS-7 saying Arties have his number. As you can see, that is very much the case. That is why he is currently at a 30% health. T-30 basically accommodating the artillery's good shot there, taking out that IS-4. E50 pushing forward a little more, but I'm more interested in this Patton, who I would just really love to eliminate from that fight. E50 is doing a little better for himself, so if I can hit that Patton, he'll be a one-shot for anyone. Now, the enemy team, we have evened the playing field a little. We've taken out a Tier 9 and a Tier 10, not really counting the Tier 5. Mexican standoff at B4. Yeah, we really do. Oh, there we go, hitting the Patton. He's poking back and forth, trying to tempt a shot, and he certainly did, and he certainly paid it. But yeah, Mexican standoff up north, like I was saying before, I was focused on the match. Playing field has definitely been evened a little. Tier 10 for Tier 10, Tier 9 for Tier 8. T-30 just rushing blindly forward. I have no doubt that they know I'm up here. T-30, I guess, just thought he could get away with it. I don't know, maybe thought my attention was focused elsewhere, maybe thought I didn't have the gun depression. Taking another free shot at the T-30, but certainly paying for it. T-30 getting taken out by artillery. So, he shot me, I shot him twice for the equivalent amount of damage he shot me, then artillery killed him. So, I say, was it worth it, T-30? I'm sorry if my voice is coming across as a little raspy. It's been a long day, my throat is a little dry, been a long night of yelling and playing Battlefield. So, yeah, IS-4 getting taken out by artillery. Yet again, artillery has the south pretty well covered and has no problem switching up north when the opportunity presents itself. Patton, I take this shot right after he gets killed. So, shot wasted, but with the rate of fire and how many shells I have, credits aren't really an issue. So, it's a shot wasted, but it's of no consequence. So E50, I'm just waiting for him to get taken out. T54 asking for help, but he never should have rushed forward at that E50 in the first place. IS-7 getting ammo racked. Not sure if that was really that big of a deal. He was going to get hit by Artie anyway. 261 saying cool draw. Yeah, you might think so, buddy. You'll see how events unfold very shortly. We're catching up to them very quickly, making the playing field much, much more even. T54 rushing forward, the enemy team getting desperate and paying for their foolish rushes. You know, they're like, basically in their minds they're saying, we are the more mobile force, we have to push forward, otherwise this is going to be a draw. There's no way their team is going to be able to push forward fast enough to where we can basically kill them all in time to avoid the draw. The enemy team is getting desperate, making foolish decisions, rushing forward blindly, only to get killed. Yeah, I'm not complaining. Taking shots at that IS-4, but missing, or I'm pretty sure I don't get a good shot on him. I could be wrong. I could be recalling it correctly, but I think I either miss or bounce. And I will take another shot. Yep, bounce right there. We have the Yog Tiger up north, and that, I believe that is a... Is that still the E50? That's probably still the E50. I think the, yes it is. T54 dueling it out with the E50. Not doing too well for himself. IS-8 getting taken out by that Yog Tiger. IS-8 is definitely soft in the armor. E50 exposing himself for me, not before he takes out that T54, but artillery finishing off that E50, making my life a little better. Teams are basically even at this point. South is doing rather well for itself, especially after they eliminated that push. The enemy team still has an IS-4 in the south. Artillery hitting that Yog Tiger. I'm just hoping he pulls forward a little more. T-54 still in the south causing problems, but artillery should be able to finish him off. Yog Tiger completely oblivious to me. I've been up here this entire round. I'm pretty sure the enemy team spotted me on multiple occasions, and yet they continue to ignore me. The only person who really paid any sort of attention to me was that T-30, and, you know, he did a number, but T-54 surviving with 22 health, only to be eliminated by the IS-4, doing rather well for himself, if I do say so. IS-4 to the far, far south, not really gonna live that much longer. IS-4 killing the IS-4. I have no idea what this T-54 is talking about. I don't know why he's calling out that IS-4. I don't even know what he's saying there. The grill spotted, again, a tank of no consequence. IS-4 killing him in one shot. And really, at this point, we have the potential to win this. The only thing working against us is the clock. And the only reason this match turned around is because we had the defensive position advantage, and not only that, we had the armor advantage. We had the heavier hitting tanks, and yes, that could have worked against us if we got ourselves in positions to be flanked by those mediums, but we kept ourselves pretty well bunkered down. The enemy team just basically took the bait, rushed in, and got themselves killed, especially when the chips were down and the time started running short. The enemy team, it might be not entirely accurate, but I want to say they panicked. They basically said, we're running out of time. If we don't push now, it's going to be a draw. And if we don't want to draw, do we? And even if, in my mind, I think they thought even if their push failed, there'd be no way we could push forward fast enough to avoid a draw, because they kept some tanks back. Now, AMX 5120, the tank I shot a little earlier, as well as Artie looking like he got a few shots on him, definitely kind of the only thing standing between me and victory at this point. That IS-4 in the far, far south, definitely not a threat. Not with how many tanks he has bearing down on him. That M12 you saw earlier gets shot by the IS-4. Good for him. AMX 5120, you know, not really able to get shots on me because I am just being very, very annoying. Just very troublesome. Artillery trying to take out the 5120, not really doing it. Him getting a free shot on me, me bouncing on his armor. And at this point, I'm going to probably guess he's reloading. Not only that, his gun's not facing me, so I'm just going to say, screw it, you're dead. They're saying, hurry up and push or it's over. IS-4 in the south getting completely overrun. They're telling me, good job, M103, because I was the only tank that rushed base. Because without me going to base, we wouldn't have made it in time. It is down to the final 50 seconds. IS-4 is almost dead, and I will get the final shot just because, yeah, I like kills. So, you know, I probably should have let that IS-4 on my team get the final kill. Giving him Top Gun, that would have been the nice thing to do, but I was under the gun, and I just wanted the enemy team dead. That's it. No, nothing else. I didn't care who got the kills. I just wanted the enemy team dead. And yes, I enjoy getting kills, but in the final, I prefer victories over anything else, to be honest. And I could go an entire round, not get a single kill, and as long as we win, I think it's a good match. Anyway, enemy team not doing too hot for themselves there at the end. They had the advantage early on, but they quickly lost it. So, yeah. So very close. So very close to Confederate. Just like that IS-4 was so very close to Top Gun. Not quite there, though. Got 3 kills myself, the 5120, the IS-4, and the Yog Tiger. 22 shots fired, 15 hits, so not the most accurate tank in the match. Definitely not even close to accurate. Well, I managed to take 3 hits, but yeah. Scout went to that 1390. Good job for him. He was in the scout position, you know, lowest tier on our team, a fast mover, light tank. So he was the scouting tank, so did his job rather well. Steel Wall goes to the IS-4 on our team, and Sniper goes to the T-54 on our team. So our team got all the awards. Definitely, I think, a match that could have gone very sideways definitely ended up turning out to end in our favor. And like I said, it got interesting towards the end. The timer was ticking, and if I had not made the decision to go base, and no one else had made the decision to go base, we could have easily run out of time. If I made the decision to just say, I'm going to sit here and keep my tank safe, and I'm going to let my team push, we would have run out of time. It would have been a draw. So, draw avoided. I prefer that. Don't get me wrong, I prefer a draw to a defeat any day, but victories are nice. Anyway, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you have a replay, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. I will certainly give it a look over, and if it's interesting or good enough, you'll see it on this channel. Yeah. And talking about that whole hiccup issue, don't be surprised if that shows up in the future. It's not really anything I can control. I do plan on replacing my video card, but I'm not entirely convinced it's a video card issue. It might just require, I don't know what it will require, but it might require a complete computer overhaul, replacing the hard drive, reformatting the operating system, etc. And that's more work than I'm willing to put in. Anyway, that is all. This has been Spang, and I am signing off.